Hello, hockey fans. Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. And Jerry, we've got a lot to talk about. It's playoff time for high school hockey. College hockey is getting geared up for their playoffs. Minnesota Wild seem to find a way to win, and then they come home and they seem to find a way to lose. But we've got a lot to talk about. Let's start with high school hockey. That's the hot topic.
State tournament this week.
Yep.
This is the big week. The section playoffs were last week, and this week, I guess, are the two biggest weeks in Minnesota hockey because everyone who loves high school hockey at this time, and it's on TV, and a lot of people go down to the Twin Cities and just party, and some don't even make it to the game, but they stay pretty close to the arena.
You know, back in the day when I was younger and did those type of things, I never went down to the state high school hockey tournament except for one time I went against my will. I was kidnapped by a good friend, and I went down to watch his high school team, Denfeld, not my high school team. Denfeld lost their opening game. I think they ended up getting consolation or something, 89.
Okay. Yeah,
but
89.
Let's start at the beginning. Duluth East, Greenway of Coleraine, heading down to state. Let's talk about their games.
Okay, both of them are the Greenway's,
well, I guess talk about
Greenway's the 4th seed, and East and Greenway's in Class A.
Yeah. Did we talk about their wins last week? Was that something?
Yes, we did.
We
a
already
little
covered
bit.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with Lawson getting the winning goal and what his family's going through, and he got a hat trick on his semifinal section game, and then he got the winning game against Hermantown in overtime.
Dante Lawson.
Yes.
Yeah.
His brother had a kidney transplant. This is the third one.
Okay.
Because I guess the first two didn't last too long.
Yeah.
And it's a great story, and I mean this is great for Greenway and the range. I mean.
Well, let's hope that his good fortune and good luck can continue. So Greenway made it to state, first time since '91 when the Geyers were on that team, and they had a heck of a team back then.
No, they made it in about 2003 or something like that.
Or 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they won it.
Okay.
Yep.
They didn't win it, but they got there.
When did they win state?
Back in when Antonovich was there.
You have to go back that far?
67, 68.
Okay. So they didn't win it under the Geyers when the Geyers were there? I thought they did.
No.
Okay.
Well, they had Geyers back in those teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they play at both games. I mean, it's kind of funny. Wednesday night's Class A. They play at the second game at night. So 8 o'clock. The state says high school league, but it's really usually 8:30, quarter to 9 when it gets started.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really something how they get that.
People have to work.
Far behind.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in the East plays St. Thomas Academy same time on Thursday night in the Class AA.
Let's talk about that matchup. What are your thoughts on this?
On
East.
East.
And,
Okay, I
St.
did a
Thomas
little
Academy.
comparison of the two teams, and I put like the goals that each one had for each period. So I'm going to go with East first. During the regular season, this is regular season, on the first period, East got 27. The opponents got 18. On the second period, 26 goals. The opponents got 18. On the third period, 27 goals, and the opponents got 9. So what that tells me is East is pretty consistent all 3 periods in their scoring. They're only 1 goal off. And the third period, they must tire teams down because they cut them in half, the opponents' goals. Yeah. And then in their power play percentage during the regular season was 25%, and penalty kill was 84%. But let me tell you something. In the first half of the season, it was a lot lower, 10% lower, like close to 15%.
The penalty kill, the power play.
Both were lower.
Both, okay.
Yes.
So that's improved.
Big time.
Okay.
So that, I mean, it still doesn't look like their good years where they had over 40%, but still, big improvement.
Yeah.
So this is a good sign there. Okay, in the playoffs, they basically did the same thing. They got 4, 6, and 5 goals on their 3 playoff games, and the opponents got 1, 2, and 2. So they're pretty consistent the whole way through on every period.
Yeah.
So now we'll go to St. Thomas Academy, who are 21-3-1. They only lost 3 games, so they're a very good team. And the first period, is where East has to watch out, it looks like. They scored 50 goals, and the opponents got 12. Second period, 37. Opponents got 13. And then the third period, 41. Opponents got 14. So they're a very defensive team.
Yeah.
The last 18 games, there's only 14 goals scored against them. That's pretty good.
How would you compare St. Thomas Academy's schedule to Duluth East's?
East is a lot stronger.
A lot stronger?
Yes.
Okay.
Because at the end of the season, St. Thomas have to play probably the worst team in Class AA, North St. Paul. They have to play Simley,
yeah.
and Sibley.
And Sibley.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So they're not hockey schools. They're wrestling schools.
Yeah.
And different sports they're good at. And then they played some other teams that aren't that great. So.
Sure. So East does have a harder schedule during the regular season.
And that's where East they'll help East.
Mm-hmm.
Where it won't help East, I think, is that St. Thomas Academy coaches, the Vanellis, are resigning after this year, after many years of coaching and many state championships in the Class A.
Now, is there some names already that have...
the biggest name is probably one of the sons.
That would become the coach?
Yes.
Okay, but that's not been determined?
No.
Or announced, okay.
Right. But I'm just saying, the team, might play a little harder for that. There's their last year. And
okay.
Let's do it for the coach,
So East opens up tournament play when?
On Thursday night, the second game on Thursday night, and then it's usually about 8:30.
Yeah.
When it gets started.
Yeah.
So that's a big game. And the big thing about the state high school tournament is that first day. If you can win that first game, you stay at the XL for all 3 games. If you lose, you go to Mariucci.
Yeah.
And then basically is the few fans and the parents.
They've never had television for any of those games.
No.
Yeah.
Not Mariucci. But
you think they would for a third place game at least?
Third place game.
Do they televise it?
Well, that's consolation. They don't.
Well, no, I understand consolation.
It's all consolation if they lose the first. The third place game
is at the XL.
Yes, but they don't televise those games either.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
One's at 9 and one's at 4.
Well, I'm intrigued by this Duluth East Andover matchup. Of course, Duluth East won in overtime again to beat Andover. What's the mood like with Andover? What do you know? Their struggles.
I think the biggest mood is that the reffing. There's a lot of talk on social media.
Let's set it up. Was it the start of the overtime or late in the third period?
Here's my way of thinking.
It was the overtime. There was a penalty called on East. Right. Was it a questionable call? Yeah, I think so.
On that tripping?
Yeah.
I don't think that was questionable. Here's what I thought in the whole game. In the first 2 periods, they weren't calling really anything.
Yeah.
And then they call it in the third period and overtime. I don't understand that because usually most time in the game, if they call in the first period, then they put the whistle in their pocket and let them play, And so to me, I don't like that way of what they did. And then the State High School League does not allow instant replay or go back and look at the review.
Sure.
On even though the reason is they say is the other arenas don't, but who cares if the other arenas? You can get at least some of the games right.
Yeah,
some of the goals and that. Now in college and pro, they go to they go back and review every goal.
Are you pointing to something specific regarding a replay?
Well, the second goal by Ricky Lyle was kicked in. Did he direct it in?
Yeah.
Or did he, just by accident went in?
There was no review.
No. They can't. What they called at the time was...
And the call was?
Goal.
Yeah.
So that I can... the coaches from Andover can say a lot about that too.
Well, that's something they certainly have to look at.
And when it's an overtime game, just one little thing can make a big difference, and it did probably.
I want Duluth East to win when they get to this stage, and prior to that against Andover, I want Duluth East to win. I always want them to win. They're a good team. They're well coached. They're Duluth boys. But when you get to overtime, I don't know, maybe penalties in overtime, you've got a shortened period rather than have it just be 2 minutes, have it be a 1 minute penalty or something. But that's a discussion.
I don't know.
Well, you've got a shortened period.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a regulation
But
period.
let me say one thing. Congratulations for Duluth East, the way they played in the playoffs, the way they're playing right now. And it just amazes me how Coach Randolph can go through so many ups and downs during the season, switching lines.
Yeah.
Parents are upset because their kid's not on the first line, not on the
Yep.
power play.
Yeah.
And he goes through this every year.
Yeah.
But then when playoffs come, he does it. He has that team ready.
He does.
They're ready to go. And here they are, state tournament again.
Yep.
And the coach with the most victories in state tournament history.
Mike Randolph.
Yeah, and he can add on to it.
Duluth East has 3 hockey championships in high school. 1960, I think, was the first one. And then those 1990 era.
95 with Dave Spihar.
Yeah.
People still talk about that one.
Yeah.
And then 98, 3 years later. But they could have won 4 straight
Oh,
there.
they've got a lot of second place
Yeah.
finishes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do. They do.
Last year.
Yeah, sure. And so go Duluth East. We're happy for
Right.
them.
And go Greenway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So that'll be fun down there. And the other side of the state, we got one more northern school in the Class AA is Moorhead. And East Grand Forks in Class A. So we got some northern. But the thing is, I don't know, I think they do this on purpose, but they put East and Moorhead on the same bracket so there can't be 2 northern teams in the finals. Seems they can always do that.
Yeah. I don't think the people in the Twin Ports think that anything, or they probably think anything past Pine City is northern. And maybe it is. But so what else do we have with high school hockey?
Well, that state tournament is the big thing, and people are going to be a lot of people downtown St. Paul. But let me give you some of the schedules just so people know, and if you can't make it down there, up north here, WDIO will have it. The game's on TV. On Wednesday, we'll have 11 a.m. North Branch, their record was 19-7-2 versus St. Cloud Cathedral, the number 2 seed, and their record was 24-4. So that's at 11 o'clock. This is North Branch's first time. And here's a town you probably never heard of that even has hockey. 1 p.m., Minnesota River, 20-4 record. It's going against number 3 seed East Grand Forks, 21-7.
Minnesota River.
Yeah, I guess it's right down going toward Mankato by Le Sueur with the Green Giant.
Ho, ho, ho.
There you go. Then at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, we got New Ulm, 17-8-1 versus the number 1 seed Montemita, 21-6-1. And then last game of the night is Delano, number 5 seed, 17-9-2 record versus the Greenway, Coleraine, Nashua, Keewatin.
Raiders.
Yep, 15-13 record. They played a tough schedule, so that probably helped them. At one time of the season, they were about 6 games below 500.
Greenway?
So, yeah, so they're been playing real good the second half of the season.
So this Minnesota River,
yeah,
who do they play?
they play a lot of small teams in southern
No,
Minnesota.
in the tournament.
They play East Grand Forks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah, it'll be a tough game. Mm-hmm. And then
Now, do you know, was this their first trip to state?
yes,
Okay.
Minnesota River and North Branch first trip.
Nice.
And New Ulm's been there a few times, so they'll probably bring a truck of Shell beer and some butter.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Some German butter.
Yeah,
There you go.
whatever that is.
And then the losers on Wednesday will go to Mariucci on Thursday and play at 10 and noon. And the winners on Wednesday play Friday at the XL at 11 and 1 p.m. for the semis in Class A. And then the finals is at noon for the championship game and 9 o'clock for the third place game. So that's Class A. Class AA, 11 a.m. White Bear Lake, 21-4-1 versus number 2 seed Blaine, 22-2-2. I think Blaine has the best first line of all the teams. But, well, you know White Bear Lake. They've never won a first game, and they've been there many times.
Never won the opening round.
No,
Ooh.
never.
Maybe this is their year.
I know.
Be nice.
And then 1 p.m., second game in the afternoon, Lakeville South 14-12-1. Eden plays number 3 seed Eden Prairie 17-9-2. And then at night, Moorhead 21-6-1 record plays the number 1 seed Edina, the Hornets.
Nice.
Again, 24-2-1. And then the last game of the night is Duluth East, number 5 seed, plays St. Thomas Academy, number 4 seed. Duluth East record 18-6-2, and St. Thomas 24-3-1. And Edina, it's kind of funny. I think the State High School League does it. I don't think they really do the draw. I think they set it up this way because if East, how many times has Friday night been a Duluth East and Edina semis, you know?
We've seen a few.
Yeah. And I think Lou will be on the mic if that was the case.
Oh, no doubt.
Lou Nanny.
Yeah.
He called Let's Play Hockey last night for the Wild game. Lou Nanny.
Oh, in the arena.
Yeah.
Say it with us. Let's play. Okay.
Okay,
Did
friends.
he? All right. All right.
So then on Class AA, the losers go to Mariucci on Friday, and the winners play Friday night in the semis.
Let's talk about Mariucci. I had a conversation with some people last week. What was it? The Gophers and Arizona State. And
Right.
It was televised, and I couldn't believe the empty seats. I think this was the first time those two teams played.
Right.
And so you've got a first-time opponent, and there was a time when Mariucci was the hot ticket, and
Right.
they sold out every game. There were no empty seats.
Right.
But now we're seeing this trend, and this has been
Right.
going on now pretty much since they went to the Big Ten, I think.
Right. The TV money is so big that I don't think they care.
Somebody said that you can even see the M that's printed on the seats because people aren't sitting in the seats to cover it up.
Well, in the first period, sometimes that's true.
But the conversation was that, well, the reason there weren't so many people there is because this is state tournament time. There's still a lot of people that are out ice fishing and all these crazy excuses. And I thought, this has been going on for a while. This isn't something new.
No, the old days, they always filled it up. You couldn't get a ticket.
So it's just the way it is. And
Yeah. They went
Are
to they went to the Big Ten. That didn't help the fan
so
base.
what they did is they attached a user fee
Right.
if you bought season tickets. And
Yeah.
that fee was like $1,000.
No, I had tickets,
was
and
it?
mine was 200, but some were 400.
Okay,
Depends
maybe-
on where you were
Okay.
per seat.
All right.
And then the ticket price was
So you bought the seat basically for $400, let's say.
Right.
Now you had to buy the season tickets.
and it went up from when they opened Mariucci. I was paying $13 with no seat charge, a ticket.
Now?
Now it's 35 to 55 a game plus the seat charge.
Yeah, well, there you
And
go.
so a lot of the fans said, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. And so they're selling all these tickets to corporate, and then it'll be on the bulletin board. Here's tickets for the Gopher game tonight. No one's taking them.
Well, okay, let's use
Different fans every
okay,
game.
let's say 3M. So
Yeah.
3M buys 1,000 tickets,
Right.
2,000, whatever the number is.
Right.
They are not. Do they not distribute them to employees, or do
They
employees
probably
not
try
want
to,
them?
but
or?
maybe they don't put that much effort into
Okay.
it because
It's
it's a
just-
write-off no matter what.
It's a head scratcher.
Right.
Why that occurs?
Because it's all corporate. It's not regular fans. Before, you
But
saw
that
the same
hurts.
fans all the time.
That helps the Gophers per se, being in this Big Ten and all the TV contracts. But what about concessions at the arena? They suffer.
Terrible.
Parking. You don't have people there, or as many people.
Well, like I say, we've been talking even about high school, how they do this, some of the stuff on putting these teams together. Like they say that let's rank them, seed them this way, and I don't think the real truth's coming out on this. I think they put what they want. It's because of money. Everything's money
Now, this is the Minnesota State High School
but
League, MSHSL.
I don't care what you're in, college,
Yeah.
junior, everything.
Really?
Their decisions are made because of money.
All right.
So it's just a different
Yeah.
day, era of life. Mm-hmm. So,
Are decisions made because of money with the UNB Bulldogs, who are in second place,
I don't think they do make decisions.
based on money?
I don't think they're making any money on the ladies, though.
No, that's
Because they say
that's
1,300, and there wasn't even 100 there in the playoffs.
Yeah, you can say what you want about all the things with Shannon Miller, but see, it's some darn good teams here.
Right.
UMD, the men, second place in the NCHC, 43 points. They stand at 14-7-1, 21-9-2 overall. And number one in the NCHC, St. Cloud State, they're 17-2-3, 56 points. So the Bulldogs, who play St. Cloud this weekend, could sweep St. Cloud and still be way behind.
Yeah, St. Cloud already won the trophy.
Yeah.
So.
And the snowstorm.
Yeah. The only thing it'll do is that UMD can go past them maybe in the pairwise if they swept them. That's the only thing. Otherwise,
and there's really not a lot on the line this week.
No.
UMD has home field advantage, home ice advantage for the playoffs.
All these teams in the top four are in the regions for the.
But still, you don't want to go down there and stink it up. You want to go down there and perform.
Yeah, you want to be playing your best at the end of the year. So
you bet. Friday night here in Amsoil Arena in Duluth, the Miami of Ohio team came to town. 4-2, the Bulldogs won. 56-34 were in attendance. Noah Cates, 2 goals.
Yeah, he had a good game. He started out real fast. And, hey, I like him. He's playing good in that first line with Sweeney.
That was a regionally televised game, at least statewide.
They had...
Fox Sports North?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. And then Saturday night, 6-5, the Bulldogs won a high-scoring affair. 66-62 at the Amsoil. Nick Wolf, 2 goals, and they
right
came
away.
Yeah, 103 of the first period and 126. Yeah. And the Bulldogs held on, even though they outshot Miami 39-19.
If someone told me that Nick Wolf scored 2 goals in the first period and Riley Tufte scored 1 in the first period, I say, oh, this is going to be a big. I mean, UMD just beat this team big time.
Well, Nick Wolf's a defenseman.
Yeah,
but
he had 3 goals all year, and he gets 2 in the first minute and a half.
But what's up with Riley Tufte? Our good friend Howie Hansen had him pegged for 30 goals last season.
He did get one, but
and you were supposed to get a stake out of it, which you never did.
It was the first year.
Was it the first year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he still, I don't think he has 30 goals. He's right around 30 now for the 3 years.
Yeah. Why isn't Riley more of a goal-scoring guy?
I don't know. Maybe one of the problems is they come right out of high school, and I think these kids have to go 1 year in juniors. They get a little more tough and stronger in it. Because this league, there's like back east, these kids are 22, 23, 24-year-old playing. They play 3 years of juniors, most of those colleges, before they go there. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. And hey, it's a big league. It's a best league in college hockey, and so it's tough.
Real quickly, a local note: Sophie McGovern of Hermantown had 2 assists, and she became the 11th player for Norwich University in Northfield, Vermont. Sophie McGovern of Hermantown became the 11th Norwich player to reach the 100 career points milestone. Wow. Now, Norwich beat Castleton 6-0 in the NEHC championship game. It's the New England Hockey Conference. And the Cadets advanced to the NCAA Division III National Tournament, the women's tournament. Didn't get any dates on that or any seedings yet. I think they come out today. We're taping on Monday the 4th, March 4th. But Sophie McGovern of Hermantown, I know her mother. I've met Sophie. I actually had her on the radio, I think, last season.
Really?
Her team won the championship.
Good for her.
And, so Sophie McGovern of Hermantown on that dynasty team, Norwich, and they will play for the Division III championship, and so we'll have details on that. But, so the Bulldogs this weekend at St. Cloud.
Yes. So, big series, just for see how they can compete with the top team in the nation.
And then things don't really slow down. The following weekend is the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it looks like right now they probably are going to play Miami again or Omaha. Right now it looks like.
Where are they pairwise? Third?
They're third.
Yeah.
I got it right here. They're third in both polls, pairwise and the USCHO. So we got 3 teams from Minnesota in the top 4 still. So St. Cloud State, number 1, Massachusetts, number 2, Minnesota Duluth, 3, and Minnesota State, Mankato, 4. So, and then let's see, Denver's 6. So we're going to get a lot of teams from the NCHC into the tournament, it looks like. Western Michigan has to work a little bit. They're 14 right now.
Yeah.
So they got to have a good weekend and probably win the playoffs and get to the frozen face-off.
Do the Gophers make the tournament?
They got to win their Big Ten tournament.
They've got to win their tournament.
Yeah, because they're 20.
Yeah.
They got to win.
What about Notre Dame?
Because they're done with their schedule now, anyhow. Notre Dame is going to have a hard time too. They're 15.
What about,
so they might win. They might have to win the tournament too. The only
so it's going to be one of the two then that make it in.
No, because Ohio State is 7. If they win, they might be the only Big Ten team in. If they win the tournament,
sure. Okay.
So if they lose, Ohio State can still get in.
What about Wisconsin? They're out.
Yeah, and win the tournament. It's all everyone.
Okay, sure,
everyone but Ohio State
Gotcha.
has to win the tournament to get to the NCAA tournament.
Wild hockey. The Wild went on a nice little winning streak until they came home. And but the Wild 66 games in, 32, 27-7, 71 points in the West. Jared, they're in 8th place, that final playoff spot.
Yeah.
And with 71 points, they're tied with Dallas. And the bottom 4 in the Western Division: Chicago, Vancouver, Anaheim, Los Angeles Kings.
Right.
Who would have ever thunk that?
Yeah, especially Anaheim and LA Kings. I had
And the
them
Blackhawks.
I had them making the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, we're down to the final couple of minutes here, so real quick.
Well, the Wild are playing good with these young kids, and hopefully Dubnik's playing better.
He is.
So,
Yeah.
and Stalock had a good game, I thought, last night.
He did.
So I hope they keep rolling, and these young kids, I like them so far.
Nashville Sunday night, shootout loss. They'll play at Nashville Tuesday. That's a nationally televised game. The next games after this Tuesday, they'll be at Tampa Bay on the 7th, Thursday, and then at Florida in Miami on Friday the 8th. They have the weekend off, and then they'll be home to host San Jose on the 11th, again, a nationally televised game. As a matter of fact, they've got a big homestand coming up, five-game homestand starting the 11th. Well, with that, we've got to go. Minnesota Hockey Connection, find us on YouTube. Find us on Facebook and like us there, and go to our website, minnesotahockeyconnection.com. And we want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced, in City Hall in downtown Duluth. And Jer, high school hockey, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.
Yeah, and I'll put some stats. I'll be at the state tournament. I'll put game scores and stats in Facebook, and I'll tweet a few things too. So a lot of good stuff.
We'll see you next week.